Grand Rising. You are watching Soul Lit with Latara and Treese. I am Latara and Treese. This is numero dos. Today's topic is going to be the compass, the intuition versus ego. My last episode, I spoke about your 6 practical steps to rediscovering you. The saying is that your mind has to get there before you actually get there. So now we can see where we're going. But I want to go ahead and slide this in there because I know a lot of people may watch that video and think, awesome, that's amazing. It's a start, but then what? The next step is going to be putting yourself in situations or mapping out the things that you need in order for you to get to where you're trying to go, and then now trying to figure out how to put yourself in those scenarios to make those things happen, and listening to your intuition rather than your ego. That's going to be how we make it more attainable for us, right? So if you're thinking about wanting to start a business and you think to yourself, well, I've never done anything where business is concerned, I've never done anything that would help me put a structure to this as a business, you need to build some type of skill, you need to build some type of knowledge base about it. Whatever we've been doing, we've probably been doing for quite some time. So these things that we might have on our vision board or our goals might require us to have some new skills, some new talents, or things that you have not tapped into thus far. So how do I develop this? Or how do I get to the next step? Or what's the next thing for me to do? You should put yourself in position and places in order for you to have those experiences, right? For you to be in the right place at the right time. So I don't want you to think that all you have to do is do those 6 steps and then wait for your intuition to tell you something. No, you do have to be in action. Not to say don't do anything and you're just waiting for this nudge, but it is to say that, hey, that nudge is your internal compass. And it's going to teach you, it's going to show you the right way. Your intuition is going to be your most reliable source. That's your soul source. Like having the blueprint, but now we have the direction to get there. In the spiritual world, there are 2 components to you as a person, you as a human being. You have your ego, your human mind, and then you have your soul, which is attached to your intuition. And your intuition is that gut feeling. So in the past, you may have experienced times where you felt something, I got this gut feeling that I shouldn't do this, and went with it and saved yourself or spared yourself from something that was major or could have changed your life. And it's the same thing. Now, when we do not listen to our intuition, the downside to that is that it suppresses. So we don't have anything to follow. It stops talking to us. The way to identify those 2 things, the ego wants to control. It wants to know the how, what, when, where, and why, and will create scenarios in your mind, in your brain, about how things will pan out for you. Your intuition comes from your gut. So not here, but here. Your intuition is going to speak to you in silent moments. You have the distractor, which is going to be your ego, which wants to control, and then you have your intuition, which is your higher self, who wants to guide you. And so now you get to make the choice on who you will allow to guide you. When you randomly have this idea or you randomly have this thought, that's your intuition. So learn to discern between the 2. The intuition is what we're going for. Remember, your intuition is going to be your compass. Your ego is going to be your distractor. So using those 2 metaphors to help you determine which one is going to be the most reliable. On a spiritual level, your intuition is tapped into your soul source, your higher self. And some people don't even know what that means. It's like, well, what's a higher self? Like, it's just me. No, it's not. It's you and a soul. It's you and something bigger living in you. And that's where all of your magic is happening and all of your creation truly lies. But it lies dormant when we don't tap into it and when we don't allow it to live for you. So when we think about the next step, we are here as human beings, but we are totally souls having a human experience. And this whole journey is already mapped out for you. It's in divine plan. It is orchestrated by God himself, herself, higher being, supreme being, whoever it is or however it is you want to identify your God presence, but it's already been mapped out for you. It's just a matter of finding or knowing the purpose, living in the purpose, following the intuition to get you there and build your faith so you can manifest. Start tapping into your intuition. Start listening to yourself. Start listening to your inner knowing and not the ego. Start to think of yourself as something bigger than just a human, just flesh, right? It's going to require faith. But think of it, when you've actually listened to your intuition in the past, 9 times out of 10 it didn't steer you wrong. So when you do start to listen to it more, it's going to build stronger, and you're going to get more of these signs, more of these feelings. And then if you act on those signs, if you act on those feelings, then you're also going to start to see how things happen for you miraculously. You're gonna be in the right place at the right time. You're gonna have exactly what you needed in divine timing, and it's gonna be like, oh my God, like I can't believe that happened just because I listened to my intuition. I can't believe that happened because I listened to my gut. Well, that's because, again, the intuition already has the compass. It already knows the way, and your faith is gonna require you to stand and sit in that unknown and know that you have to trust yourself. You have to trust your higher self. You have to trust that compass. You gotta trust your intuition. It's not gonna lead you astray. So when you do apply those 6 practical steps, when you do start asking yourself those questions, and you do start to put those tools into action, don't get lost in planning the how to do these things. Faith without works is dead, and it's the truth. So when you do start putting these things out there in the universe, and you do start to visualize them for your life, start putting yourself in situations that are going to allow you to be aligned with the right people, the right places, the right environment, the right knowledge. Put yourself out there, because that's the only way that the universe is going to be able to get to you. It's the only way that you're going to meet these connections or have these connections, knowing that the ego is only a distractor. It's your human experience that wants to protect you, so to say, from the unknown. But listen, the universe works in the unknown. Miracles happen in the unknown. When you're trying to control a situation or control a scenario, think about it. Your vision is only linear. Think about the universe on a big scale of things. So if you're God and you have this all-seeing eye, I want what God has for me. I want what He sees for me. I want to have the infinite aspect of it all. I don't want to limit myself to just what I can see, because then I'm truly limiting myself. So think of it that way. Your ego is only going to control you. It wants to make sure that it's protecting you from the unknown, because it's truly a protecting shield. But in this case, you don't need to rely on that protection, because your protection comes from God. Your protection comes from your higher self. Your protection comes from the universe. I'm not saying put yourself in some dire situation to where you're gonna lose everything that you have, but I am saying that it's your protection is going to be from the universe. Your protection is going to be from the energies and the things that you put out there into the universe, because that's what you're going to receive back. And if you're doing good, and if you're putting things out there in the world that are beneficial and that feel good, and they're love, and it's kind, and it's joy, and it's helping, and it's healing, you're going to get that back, and that's your protection. This is gonna be a journey. I cannot express that enough, but it's a fulfilling one. And there's gonna be some times where you're like, I just don't know what it is I should be doing next. That's what I mean when I say you're gonna have to rely on that intuition. You're gonna have to rely on that compass. You're gonna have to rely on that higher self. Tap into that space. And if you need exercises to help you tap into that higher self, I will definitely put together another video that speaks about the way that I've learned how to tap into my higher self and experience that inner knowing, which has grown, and it's so much stronger now that I've relied on it and given myself the opportunity to forgive the times that I didn't. And of course, from there it's bountiful, it's abundant. So I want the same experience for you. That will be in our next video, how to tap into that higher self and the ways and techniques that you can practice to do the same things. I hope that this video resonates with you guys. I hope that you take something from this, and I hope that you are on your journey steadfast and that you're excited about it, because it is something to be excited about. Can you imagine where your life would be, or where you would be, if you were truly doing the things that you were called to do? how happy you would be. Your higher self is truly here to experience everything in an abundant state. And when you think about God, God wants us to experience all things great, all things righteous, all things prosperous, all things abundant, blessings, love, money, wealth, health, like all those things. And you cannot experience those things in a lower vibrational body. That's what this is truly about. And like I said, I definitely am excited to help you guys get to where you need to be, because it's helping me get where I need to be. This is healing for all of us as a community. It's my birthday month. Make sure for this video that you also like and share. Subscribe to my channel. Share this to your friends or with your friends, your family, co-workers, anyone that you feel like is in a space of needing healing. It's just the beginning. Shit's about to be lit. Thanks again for watching. Boop.